Hey, everybody. Happy full moon. I hope that everybody is doing really well. Sorry for jumping on here last minute. I had intended on trying to get to everybody's questions earlier in the week, but I got sidetracked by another project. So I'm super sorry about that. But happy full moon. What's everybody doing? Does anybody have any big plans? I know it looks like it's going to start raining again, but tonight is the cold wolf moon. So do check it if you have a view. I'm having surgery on Tuesday, so I'm going to be out of commission for about 6 weeks. So it's really going to suck. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do any of my magic stuff. I might. Maybe I'll just be bored enough to devote a lot of time to it. But I had wanted to start out with some hate mail, but I sent it to my cousin Jenny, and now I can't find it. But it was from Flacco Don't Trip. And Flacco Don't Trip sent me a very sweet message, something to the effect of, "You ugly, stupid bitch, you nasty, ugly hoe," something like that. And it was really, really funny, and so I'm sad that I lost it. But Flacco, if you get to hear this, don't trip. I did enjoy your message and did get a good laugh from it though. But today we're going to talk about a few different things. So this person is basically asking me how to get in touch with their inner divine feminism. And one of the best ways that you can go about doing this is on days like today when it's a full moon. A lot of our cycles and important cycles in life are all 28-day cycles. That's why they say women often mirror the moon. And sounds like this person was always known for being like one of the boys. She really knew how to hang, and she likes to hunt and fish and do all that good fun stuff. And hey, so do I totally get it. But it sounds like somebody had approached her about getting in touch with this. There are several different spell works. There are writings. I have a few good books. You're a good friend of mine, the person that asked this, and I would be more than happy to loan you a couple of those books. But yeah, really try to get out there tonight with the moon and just be. That is the best way to tap into that energy. And you also asked, what would you gain from it? Well, being in touch with your feminine side really allows you to see things from a place of wholesomeness and love, and from a mothering aspect, you know. And you don't have to be a mother to be a woman. That's not what I'm trying to say. However, it is important that we do recognize and honor these parts of ourselves, such as this. And if that didn't answer your question, please hit me up and let me know. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Happy Friday and full moon. Okay, so this next question comes from Jamie. And Jamie would like to talk more about dreams, which I love talking about dreams. I have very vivid dreams. And she asked, what does it mean when your dreams consist of people that you love that have passed? I dream about my loved ones that have passed very often. A lot of the time they don't talk. I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced that. I don't know what's going on, Nicole. Is that any better? I try to talk loud, but sometimes I just mumble, I think. So I apologize if people are unable to hear me correctly. I just turned the volume up. I'm not sure what else I could do. But back to dreams and your loved ones. What are the experiences that other people have had? Have they been visited by their loved ones that have passed? Did they talk to you? Did they, what were you guys doing? I'm always interested to hear these things too, Jamie. You're not alone. I was given a really cool dream book by a mentor of mine, and they just, I think, always recognized that spirituality in me and thought that this would be a really cool gift. And it ended up becoming one of the faves of myself and my kids. So we've had it forever and ever, and even my adult kids will still come over and start flipping through it and going back to whatever dream they had. But my personal experience with loved ones in my dreams is either things are just blissfully normal and I don't realize that they have passed. And again, they never talk to me, although they're, it seems like we're doing all these really cool, crazy things in the dream and nothing, no words. So I don't know if that is typical of anybody else. I dream about my dad all the time, and he never says anything to me. I dream about Brian also. He never talks. I mean, they smile and laugh and do all that good stuff, but I also had a dream once shortly after my grandma passed, and she had a stroke and was paralyzed on her left side for about the last 10 years of her life. And in this dream, I remember it began by me staring down into a hole, and inside of the hole was my grandma's wheelchair that I knew that she hated. But even though I knew she hated it, when I looked down into this hole, it made me feel heartsick because it was something that had belonged to my grandmother. So just as I'm feeling this dread and sickness, like, oh my God, what happened? I looked up and she was about 40 years old, and she was just twirling around and around, dancing. And it was a very lovely dream, which I'm very grateful that I got to experience. And I dream about her from time to time, but I dream a lot about family members that have passed. If anybody has any cool dream book suggestions to go into the store, if anybody has any other questions that they would like for me to ask or look more into in regards to dreams or specific dreams, let me know for the next one. So this next question is by an anonymous person, and they had asked about tarot cards. They had seen one of my previous live reads, in which I love to do. I won't be doing that here today since I only have a short period of time, but I promise that once I'm a little bit more healed up, I will get back to my live readings, and we will make sure and get people in who weren't able to get in last time. But this person asks if there are good and bad tarot cards. So tarot cards are really just a way of you communicating with your higher self, and they're used as an oracle to find answers to questions that you may already know deep down inside, or that you may want to read for other people. I have not personally encountered a bad tarot card deck. I'm assuming that you meant a tarot card deck that was filled with negative or evil energy, or called upon entities or something of that sort. And I have not seen one, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I don't pretend to know everything, and I'm still learning as well. And I would be more than happy to do some more research into that for you. But as far as I know, no, there are not, quote, bad tarot cards. There are a difference between tarot cards and oracle cards. They are moreover have the same concept. However, the tarot cards are a traditional set of cards, and then now with the big witch movement, it seems that there have been many new oracle decks that have been made, Or I even just saw a cousin of mine, she's starting to hand paint her own tarot deck, which I think is amazing. I read a traditional deck, but that doesn't mean that that's not for you. I also follow traditional tarot rules and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that that has to be what's for you, because whatever's best for you should be for you. And you shouldn't stop just because somebody else doesn't like or use something. I'm not saying that any of them are bad by any means. I've just been so happy with my tarot deck my whole life that I never really needed answers from anything else, but I have seen some really, really beautiful cards out there. This person also asked me, what are some of the first things that you should do when you get your cards? I am a firm believer in there being in your traditional cards being given to you or gifted to you. And I just this week I had the pleasure of giving a lifelong friend her first deck, and it was really nice because even though she purchased them and sent me the money, she really wanted to respect that tradition, and I was able to give them to her just like my cards were given to me. I gifted cards to my niece and daughters and all that good stuff. So there are many different ways that you can go about doing that. Somebody doesn't have to give it to you in order for it to work. It is just superstition that's the way it's supposed to be. Well, after opening up your cards and all that good stuff, you're going to want to buy a piece of silk, like a silk scarf, to contain your cards in, because you're going to want to sleep with them underneath your pillow or under your mattress, right under your head, for the duration of your relationship. So you really want to connect both your heart and soul to your cards so that they can give you the most accurate answer. And this is one of the greatest ways that you can go about doing that. I also like to leave some special little stones with them. Some of the stones that I have in my own book of shadows that I like to jot down for people is angelite, amethyst, black tourmaline, selenite, clear quartz, rainbow fluorite, rose quartz, smoky quartz, labradorite, citrine, and pretty much anything else you think that your cards will love and appreciate. They are their own little entity, so we all like sparkly, pretty little things, or not sparkly little things, but things of the earth and things that we really value, and your cards are probably the same way. So it's always good to let them sleep and rest with something that they love as well. So, other than that, I would just recommend starting out slow. I recommend learning which each of the suits mean, what the trumps mean, all that good stuff, and then really focus on one card, completely mastering it before you move on to the next. There are so many different ways to read tarot, and I will be offering a class here shortly. Depending on my recovery time, hopefully I'll be able to have one of my classes going, and if people are unable to figure it out on their own and they need that extra assistance, I would be more than happy to help guide you with that. And as a final question, Nicole asked me, is it a thing for a person to be attracted to dark type things, not in a bad way? If so, is there a name for it, if that makes any sense? Well, it does make sense. Of course, you have to remember that in order for there to be light, there has to be dark. And a lot of times being attracted to things that are dark, and by dark I assume you're meaning not just gothic and emo, but sad songs, dark movies, dark documentaries, stuff like that. And just because you are interested in those things, it doesn't necessarily make you a dark being by any means. I dress like a 14-year-old skater boy, and I really love pretty girly things. So you can be attracted to beautiful spiritual things, but you can also be okay with finding beauty in darkness, because we need the darkness to appreciate the light as we need the light to appreciate the dark. I hope that this answers your question, Nicole. If I didn't interpret that correctly, please do feel free to get a hold of me and I will touch base on it some more down the road. I have a lot of stuff to do to prepare for surgery, but I really just wanted to touch base with everybody here today. Sounds like it's been kind of a stressful day, not only for myself, but for other people. And I just hope everybody knows that I wish them nothing but love and light and peace and success. And I will let you guys know when I'm able to catch up with you next. But in the meantime, do take good care of each other, and happy full moon.